Hi guys, welcome back to my thumbnail. I know I've been off for a long time. This video is long due. I know I should have gotten this posted since, but this week has been quite challenging, hectic, busy for me. I had a lot of things, so I just had to, take a chill pill because it's the living that post. So yeah, today I just felt like this is going to be very short. I know I always say this, but I'm planning on making this very short. I'm just going to talk about a very touchy topic, something that people do not always want to address, people do not always want to talk about, maybe because of the sensitivity of this topic, how sensitive it is. So the topic for today is mental health, depression, all of it. So I know, like, from my background, the place I come from, this is not kind of the topic that everyone gets to talk about. This is not something that is discussed because it's believed that you should be able to handle your mental health. It should not be a question if you're mentally stable and emotionally stable. That you should be able to have your emotions in check. So it's kind of like a wide belief. Everyone believes that you're fine, you're perfectly okay, you shouldn't be depressed. What is making you depressed? But I was also in that category. I was that person that never believed that depression is something anyone should go through. In fact, whenever I heard people talk about depression or them facing depression, I always looked at them like, what do you mean? Like, you can't handle yourself. Like, why will you be depressed? I felt like depression was just some topic that is not real, something that is not real. I felt like it was a cloth. People just use it as an excuse to just gather sympathy for themselves. I felt like it was something people just used to gather sympathy for themselves. I never saw it as something tangible or real until I faced depression myself. So with all my emotional strength, with all my hard girl things, I faced depression, and I think it was an eye-opening time for me. Depression is not a joke. It's something people battle, and it eats you deep. Like, before you realize that you're in that state, you've gone so far that it is hard to bring yourself out of it, that you need help. So I think this is some 2, 3, 4 years ago. I battled depression. Just so many things were going on with my life, so many things were just not working for me, so it threw me into that state. And the funny thing is that I didn't even realize that I was depressed. I didn't realize that I was depressed. I just felt like it was a phase that I had to go through. It was a phase that everyone in that stage had to go through. That's what I felt. I think the moment it dawned on me that this is what depression is when I found myself doing things and conforming to things that on a normal day I wouldn't do. So I might not go into the details of this because I'm not yet ready to give up the entire information. I found myself pushing friends away, withdrawing from friends, because I was this outgoing person, not life of the party because I'm never the type to party, but I was this very social person, talk to people, always hyper, yeah, that's it. But then I found myself withdrawing from people. Like, being around people was something that scared me per se. Like, I felt like, why would I be around people? That fear, shock. I don't know how to explain it, but I just found myself withdrawing from companies. In that moment, like, people started complaining, people started asking, Rejoice, are you sure you're good? I had to sit back and like check myself, and then I realized that there was this dark aura around me. Like, I could not feel myself again. Like, I was not okay, basically. And I'm the type that I don't share my personal emotions emotions, personal, everything with anybody. I just like to deal with stuff myself. So that period was a period I needed someone to share all these things with, but my pride did not let me do that. So I really felt like I need something to pull me out of this. So this entire depression phase lingered for months, a year. I can say it was a year plus. Like, it lingered till I was like for a long period of time I was still in that phase, but no one realized, like no one noticed that it was depression. People just felt like, oh, maybe she has a lot going on with her that she needs to deal with. No one understood the depth of what I was going through. I was the only one that understood, and I could not voice out because I'm not the type to tell people how I feel. That was really a challenging time for me because I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I did not understand how I was supposed to bring myself out of this. I did not just get it. For people that go through depression, for people that are going through a weird phase, it might not be depression, it might be mental health, but for people that are going through that weird phase where they feel like things are not working for me, or they feel like I don't feel like myself anymore, I think the first thing you need to do is to own up to it. Like, don't act oh it will go, oh I'm going to shut it off somewhere and just leave it there and just continue with my life like that. I think the first thing you need to do is to own it. Just admit to yourself that this is it, this is what I'm going through, and I need help. So if you're someone that it's easy for you to talk to people, or you have close people that you can share your emotions with or share your ideas whatsoever with, if you have those people, I think that would be the perfect time for you to meet them. I'm not talking of random friends that you hang out with, or I'm talking about people that you are sure can help you, because depression is not something your friend can talk you out of. It's not something that you need a pep talk, just someone to just give you those words that will lift your spirit. It's way beyond that. Depression to get out of depression it takes conscious, deliberate efforts and steps. So you need someone that has that capacity to help you through that entire phase. So for me, I had those people around me, but I'm not just the type to tell people how I feel emotionally. I feel like it's some sort of weakness if people know how I feel, and also I like to keep my stuff to myself. So that period was challenging for me. One thing I did, like I said before, was to own up to it. I acknowledged that, Rejoice, something is wrong with you. Something is definitely wrong. You have to do something quick about this. But it was beyond my control. I couldn't help it. So what I did, I know this might sound cliche. I know you might be like, I saw that coming. What else would you say? I know there will be mixed reactions to this, but guys, if you have people around you that can help you, amazing, wonderful, kudos. If you have psychologists you can meet, counselors you can meet, that's amazing for you. But for me, that I wasn't vulnerable enough to let people know what I was going through, what I did or who I turned to is God. I know, just hang in there, just remain there. Like, I know you will be asking yourself, I know you will be saying to yourself, of course, what were we expecting from her? But guys, to be sincere, that's what I did. That's how I was able to get over mine. That is what I did. I turned to God. And when I say I turned to God, it do not mean that, I just said to God, God, this is what I'm going through, and then the next day I woke up perfectly stable again. It took months, even after going to God about it. I prayed. You know, people do this new year list where you just new year, new you. I wrote it in my list for what I needed God to do for me, to pull me out of that mental state. Like, I started going to church programs more. I started going to camps more. I just started immersing myself more into the things of God, into Christian company, Christian everything. I just soaked myself in God's presence because I had no other thing. I had no one else, nothing else that could have helped me. I turned to God. So I would just advise or say to anyone out there that is going through that phase, guys, I think the truth is that you have to be deliberate about it. You have to turn to God. Like, speak to him. Like shed tears if it gets so deep. Like, cry to him. Like, every day, every minute, you're praying to him about it. You're talking to him about it. You might not see immediate effects or immediate responses from God. Yes, you might not, or you might. I don't know how he wants to work with you, but just keep talking to him about it and be taking steps. It's not for you to turn to clubs. It's not for you to start partying. As you're praying to God about it, turn to church activities, turn to Christian friends. Just surround yourself with Christians, like true Christians. Surround yourself with them. It will just help you. I think that was what helped me out of my own phase. I surrounded myself with Christian friends. I started going to church programs more. You know, I knew that the world, I knew that clubbing, partying, all that was not an option for me. So instead of just being in my own space and keep dying and going deeper into the depression, I decided to soak myself and just get busy with church activities, with Christian things. I started volunteering more to church activities, just doing stuff related to God, doing God things. That helped me. For me, the way I handled turning to God was, I saw it like maybe God made me go through this phase because he wants a closer relationship with me. It might not be what God had in mind, definitely, but I took it that way. I took it that, okay, maybe God made me go through this because he wants me to understand something. So I took it as a phase that I have to just turn to God. So when I say turning to God, I mean wholeheartedly and completely. It's a time for you to like check your life. It's a time for you to just retrace your steps. It's a time for you to just turn to him, basically wholeheartedly. If you're not the kind of person that used to go to church or just have Bible studies or meet up with Christian friends, it's a time for you to start doing all those things, because it's in that space, it is in that place that you would just find out that, oh, I'm no longer in that mental state, I'm no longer in that emotional state where I feel down and all. It is in that space it will happen, because it's not something that you sleep and wake up and voila, you're good again. It's not going to work like that. It's a gradual process. So for the healing to be faster and for the healing to be faster, you just have to turn to church activities. I think that's how I handled mine. Yours might be different. Yours might be personal relationship with God, spending more time studying his word. You might not have to be out there, but for me, I put myself out there. I surrounded myself with Christian friends. I surrounded myself with Christian activities because it made my healing process faster. It took years definitely to heal, because even while in university, I was still not, all the way there. I was still not so social as I used to be, but I just knew that it's not as bad as it used to be. It's not as bad as it was some months or years ago. So I knew that I was healing, but it was not immediate. So I kept immersing I kept immersing myself in God's word. I kept immersing myself in the things of God, activities, church activities, and all that. And then the process became, the healing came up faster. So I would just say to you, if you're in that state, turn to God. Abandon clubbing. Look at your company closely. Look at them and be sure that these are people you want to continue with, because sometimes it's company that also adds to our emotional trauma and all of that. So just check your friends. It's going to be difficult because at some point you might not have friends. Yes, it's the truth. At some point you might not have friends any longer. If you really want to take this process seriously, you have to check the friends you have to check the things you do, because all these things might contribute. You know, some people turn to drinking, some people turn to taking alcohol, but I would always say that these things will only provide temporal and momentary relief, because once the influence is out of you, once you're back to your consciousness, you pick up from where you left your depressed state. You pick it up and you continue. So alcohol, partying, all these things will only provide momentary or temporal relief to you. So I know in that state you need something that lasts forever. You need something that would take you, that will bring you completely and totally out of it. And the only solution I can refer to you is God. Like, just pray to God about it, and most times God will lead you to those people that will help you out of it. If it's counselors, if it's friends, if it's company, if it's activities, God will lead you to those things that will help your healing process. I just felt like I just needed to share this with someone. Just share this to anyone that might be going through that phase, anyone that might be faced with such challenges. It's okay, it happens. See, don't feel weird, don't feel creeped out that you're going through this stage. Don't feel like something is wrong with you. Don't feel that way. Don't compound your problems. Don't make things worse for yourself. Just own it. Just admit that, yes, I need help. That's basically it. So it's okay, it's fine if you're in this situation. Yeah, you can get out of it, and I've just given you what worked for me and what works for people and what will forever work. It's God. 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 Just try it and you will see. So if you feel like you're in that state and you would want to talk more and you want to share and you would need someone to help you with it, you can just comment. Just drop a comment in the comment section, or just reach out to me on Instagram. I would love to be of help, because I totally understand what it is like. So I would love to be of help. I would love to help you if you really need the help. Trust me, once you turn to God, that is where the best solution is. That is where you can find the perfect and lasting solution. Yeah, that's it for today. So if you've stayed to the end, thank you so much. God loves you. God cares about our mental health. God cares about our emotional stability. God cares about our life. God cares about it all, and He just needs you to be vulnerable with Him. So just do it, and that's where the solution is. Thank you for staying to this point. I'm really glad and happy I got to share this finally. I've been thinking of the perfect way to handle this topic, and I just felt like, you know what, you've delayed it for too long. Just do it. Just put it out. And I've done it today. So thank you for staying to this point. God loves you. God will help you out of it. And if you're not going through it, if you're not going through depression, just always look out for friends. You know, when you notice that behaviors of friends are changing, always ask questions. Always just talk to them, because sometimes people just need who to talk to. So just talk to your friends, talk to anyone about it, and remain blessed. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for the support to this point. I really appreciate. Subscribe, like, share to anyone you feel would need this video, and we would see again when next we see. Lest I forget, guys, if there is any topic you would love me to handle, talk about, just vlog about anything, any topic, anything, please drop it in the comment section and I will do it. God willing, I will. So yeah, thank you guys, till we see again. Bye.